Imagine a superyacht, not just a boat, but a floating palace that can circle the globe. Not once, not twice, but dozens of times. Without ever stopping for fuel. Imagine gliding silently into Antarctica, running the hot tub, the cinema, and the sushi chef's blast chiller all at once, without a single puff of smoke. Sounds like science fiction, right? Like something out of a Bond villain's weekend planner. But here's the twist. The blueprints for these nuclear-powered luxury vessels aren't just fantasy. They're being drawn up right now by the most prestigious shipbuilders on Earth. The Billionaire's nuclear dream. This is not just a yacht. This is the final frontier of luxury. Welcome back, you magnificent dreamers, to Explore Billionaire's Toys, the only channel that doesn't just show you the price tags, but dissects the obsession behind the passion. Tonight, we're diving into the Billionaire's nuclear dream, a story of engineering marvels, eye-watering costs, political battles, and the ultimate question: would you board a nuclear superyacht? Now, let's talk about the ultimate billionaire problem. You've got your 300-foot-long masterpiece. You've got the helicopter on the back, the submarine in the garage, and a crew of 50 standing by to peel your grapes. You have everything. Except time. And what's the biggest waste of time? Stopping for gas. Current superyachts, even the hybrid ones, are thirsty. Unbelievably thirsty. We're talking 500 liters of diesel per hour. A single diesel mega yacht can burn thousands of gallons a day, just to sit at anchor and keep the air conditioning running. To cross the Atlantic, you're burning a swimming pool full of fuel. The fuel bill alone for a single trip could buy a mansion. This is inconvenient. It means your limitless freedom is limited by the distance to the next friendly fuel depot. You can't just decide to go to the South Pole on a whim. That takes planning. This is where the nuclear dream comes in. It's the allure of ultimate luxury meeting unprecedented, truly absolute self-sufficiency. A yacht that isn't just a vehicle, but a self-contained, self-powered kingdom that can stay at sea for years. Think of it. No emissions. No noise. No vibrations. Just pure, silent, limitless power. The kind of power that says, I don't just visit the planet, I float on it. Indefinitely. This is the dream, and for the right price, some of the world's biggest shipyards are racing to make it a reality. Engineering the unthinkable. Okay, so how do you do it? Now, to be fair, this isn't total science fiction. Nuclear propulsion has been a reality for over 70 years. The US Navy's first nuclear submarine, the USS Nautilus, launched in 1954. Today, over 160 ships, mostly military submarines and massive Russian icebreakers, use reactors to stay at sea for decades with an unparalleled safety record. The tech is proven. But taking it from a 500-foot military icebreaker and stuffing it into the basement of a billionaire's party boat? That's the real challenge. The core technical hurdle is, obviously, the reactor. You can't just call up Westinghouse and ask for a fun-sized reactor. This isn't a shrink-ray situation. This is the challenge of miniaturization. Your average nuclear submarine reactor is the size of a small house. But the new, fourth-generation reactors being proposed? Well, we'll get to those. The real problem, the one that makes engineers wake up in a cold sweat, is shielding. Wrapping around it. How do you stop the, let's call it spicy energy? From toasting the caviar in the galley 2 floors up? On a 1,000-foot-long military ship, you have the luxury of space. You put the reactor in the middle and surround it with massive tanks, machinery, and feet of lead-line steel. The crew quarters are a football field away. On a yacht, the owner wants his master suite. Well, everywhere. The luxury spaces are right on top of the engine room. So, the shielding has to be impossibly good and impossibly compact. We're talking layers of high-density lead, boron-infused polymers, and specialized water tanks, all sandwiched together like the world's most expensive and dangerous lasagna. And then, there's the other little problem: waste and refueling. You can't just pull into a marina and say, fill her up with enriched uranium, please, and check the plutonium. This is secured, weapons-grade stuff. The logistics of getting the fuel in, and getting the spent fuel out, is a geopolitical nightmare. The yacht would likely have to be refueled in a secure, military-grade dry dock. Maybe only once every 30 years. Imagine that sales pitch. The good news is, you only need to service it once. The bad news is, it requires a team of nuclear physicists, an armed guard, and the approval of the UN Security Council. It's the ultimate check engine light. This is why experts say the first nuclear yacht won't just cost $1 billion. It could cost upwards of $2 billion, and that's before you factor in the 20-year legal and political battle just to get it licensed. The atomic appeal. So why, with all these headaches, is this gaining traction now? Well, first, the idea isn't new. Shipbuilders have been dreaming about this for decades. The legendary Dutch builder Feedship, that's the same company that built Bill Gates's last yacht, showed off a nuclear concept way back in 2010. It was called Relativity. It was wild, it was beautiful, and everyone said, "That's nice, guys. Very ambitious." And then they went back to building diesel guzzlers. But now, two things have changed. First, the green push. I know, it sounds insane. But the maritime industry is under massive pressure to decarbonize. And here's the great, beautiful irony. A nuclear reactor is zero emission. It produces no CO2, no sulfur, no smog. Nothing. Just a whole lot of clean, reliable heat. This brings us to Bill Gates. Feedship just delivered Breakthrough, the 390-foot marvel originally built for him. It's the world's first superyacht powered by pure green hydrogen. Its only emission is water. Feedship mastered hydrogen. And then, in a plot twist that you just have to love, Bill Gates reportedly sold the yacht before it was even fully finished. And almost immediately after, Feedship announced it was joining NEMO, the Nuclear Energy Maritime Organization, a consortium including giants like Lloyd's Register, RENA, and Westinghouse. It's like they built the world's most advanced green hydrogen car, and the second it rolled off the line, they said, "You know what? Forget hydrogen. Let's build a time machine." They are looking past the next step and jumping to the final step. This isn't just about being greener. This is about true, unlimited, planet-circling range with zero emissions. And that's the new status symbol. A level of power that only a handful of humans could even attempt to buy. We're talking the Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates level of change the world crazy. The only people who could actually bankroll this. Reactor core to cabin comfort. Alright, put on your imaginary lab coats, because we need to talk about the engine itself. We are not talking about the giant, old-school pressurized water reactors from 1970s submarines. The technology that makes this plausible is the small modular reactor. Specifically, the one everyone in the yachting world is drooling over, the molten salt reactor, or MSR. Now, stay with me. This is the coolest part. In a normal reactor, you have solid uranium fuel rods that get super hot, and you pump water past them to make steam. If you lose power and the pumps stop, well, that's how you get a situation. That's a Chernobyl. That's a 3-mile island. A molten salt reactor is completely different. Instead of solid rods, the nuclear fuel is dissolved into a liquid salt mixture. This hot, liquid, slightly spicy rock juice is the fuel and the coolant, all in one. It flows around in a loop, gets super hot from the reaction, then goes to a heat exchanger, where it makes steam to turn the turbines, just like a normal power plant. But here's the genius part. The $10 billion party trick. The reactor's safety is passive. It's based on physics, not on computers or backup generators. At the bottom of the reactor, there's a drain pipe, blocked by a plug made of frozen salt. It's called a freeze plug. This plug is kept frozen by a simple electric fan. If the yacht ever loses power, if it's hit by a rogue wave, or the engineer spills a latte on the main console, or anything goes wrong, that little fan stops. The plug melts. And all of the liquid fuel salt inside the reactor simply drains, by gravity, into a special holding tank underneath. This tank is flat and wide, and designed to spread the fuel out, so the nuclear reaction just stops. It's called a walk-away safe design. If it throws a tantrum and gets too hot, it doesn't explode. It just takes a nap. Automatically. Without a single human pressing a single button. This is everything. This is the technology that makes a private nuclear reactor go from criminally insane to just mostly insane. And here's the other rare fact. Designer Greg Marshall, who is deep in this field, says the thorium-based MSRs being tested are tiny. We're talking 3 by 3 by 3 feet. That's the size of a high-end designer refrigerator. A tiny, self-regulating, zero-emission box that can power a 350-foot city on the water for 30 years. This MSR doesn't just power the propellers. It powers everything. The desalination plants, the climate control, the stabilization systems, the AI, the vertical farms. It's a private, floating sun. Navigating the nuclear hurdles. Okay, so the engineers have built the perfect, tiny, UN-explodable magic box. We're done, right? Let's go yachting. Oh, no, no, no. We have just slammed face first into the real problem. The engineering was the easy part. Welcome to the regulatory labyrinth. The biggest obstacle to the nuclear superyacht isn't physics. It's paperwork. And people. As the Lloyd's Register report said, the main obstacles are public perception and politics. Imagine you are the captain of the world's first nuclear yacht, the Atom's Apple. You decide to pull into the marina at Monaco for the Grand Prix. You radio the harbour master, Bonjour, requesting a berth for the Atom's Apple. We're 400 feet, 12-foot draft, and, one small molten salt reactor. You can just feel the panic. The fears of a floating Chernobyl in the next berth over are very, very real. Now, here's where the geopolitical thriller begins. Maybe Monaco says non. But what about Dubai? They're building the future. Maybe they want the prestige. What about a private, secure port in Singapore? Or a custom-built billionaire's bunker in the Bahamas? The owner of this yacht won't just be a tourist, they'll be a one-man political state, negotiating access wherever they go. And the crew. You can't just have a regular chief engineer. You need a team of highly trained, security-cleared nuclear physicists. At Explore Billionaire's Toys bets that'll be a fun job interview. So, your CV looks great. You must be fluent in French cuisine, advanced mixology, and nuclear physics. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with gamma radiation? Does it pair well with our jacuzzi? And the insurance. Can you imagine the premium? Yes, I'd like a quote, please. 1 yacht, 1 reactor, 2 helipads, and 1 jacuzzi. Yes, I'll hold. And here is the rarest fact of all, the one at the center of this entire debate. The only international maritime law for civilian nuclear ships is Chapter 8 of the Solars Convention. This law was written in the 1970s. It was designed for a few experimental cargo ships and icebreakers. It has no idea what a molten salt reactor is. It has no rules for a private luxury vessel. It's like trying to get a flying car approved by the horse and buggy inspectors of 1903. This is exactly why Feedship joined Nemo. They are literally trying to rewrite global maritime law from scratch. They are trying to create a rulebook for a toy that doesn't exist yet. The first billionaire to buy one of these isn't just buying a yacht, they're buying a 20-year-long legal and political battle. Beyond propulsion. A self-sufficient city. But let's say they do it. Let's say, 20 years from now, the laws are written, the public is okay with it. And you are the proud owner. What do you get for all this trouble? You get to live inside the Explore Billionaire's Toys motto. You get the billionaire's obsession. You get a self-sufficient floating city. With a reactor pumping out that much power, 24/7, the entire concept of limits just evaporates. Water. You're not just making fresh water with a small reverse osmosis system. You're making thousands of gallons an hour. You can fill 5 swimming pools a day. You could water a desert island. Food. You're not just stocking a freezer. You have full-scale, multi-level vertical farms in the hull. AI-controlled, LED-lit farms growing perfect strawberries, fresh greens, and herbs. While you're crossing the Arctic. Farm-to-table dining in the middle of nowhere. Range. This is the big one. Autonomy. You can leave port and not come back. For a decade, you can park in the ice floes of the North Pole for 6 months, running a full 80-degree Fahrenheit biosphere inside, and the reactor wouldn't even be working hard. Sustainability. And here's the final, delicious irony. In the long run, this nuclear yacht could be far greener than any other yacht. No diesel. No burning methanol. No refueling tankers chasing it around the world. Just clean, atomic power. It's the ultimate environmental paradox. It redefines luxury as true, untethered autonomy. Beyond propulsion, smart ship systems. And with that much power, you can run the toys. We're not just talking bigger TVs. We're talking about next-generation smart ship systems. An AI would be essential. Not just an Alexa, dim the lights AI, but a true, deep learning AI that is co-piloting the ship and, more importantly, monitoring the reactor. It would be the smartest, most overqualified pool boy in history, managing energy flow across the entire vessel. The outline for this video even mentions superconducting magnets. What's that about? It's advanced energy storage. When the yacht is just sitting at anchor, the reactor is still making power. Instead of wasting it, you could store that extra juice in a magnetic field, ready to be released in a massive burst to power the thrusters for a quick maneuver, or, who knows, a laser-based defense system? At this point, why not? This abundant, cheap energy changes everything. You can have sustainable interiors, labs for marine biology, hospital-grade medical bays. You can have a toy that isn't just a toy, but a platform for science, for exploration. Or just for throwing the most epic, power-hungry parties the world has ever seen. The future fleet are now a roll. So, who is actually going to build this? The race is on. Feedship has thrown down the nuclear gauntlet. But their German rivals, Lursen, are betting on methanol with their new yacht, Cosmos. San Lorenzo in Italy is pioneering methanol fuel cells. These are all steps toward green yachting. But they all still need to be refueled. They are all still tethered to the land. Nuclear. Nuclear is the moonshot. It's the break the game option. Vincenzo Porio, the CEO of Tancoa Yachts, said it perfectly. He said this will be very expensive and would need an owner like, say, a friend of Elon Musk who believes in this technology. He's right. The first owner won't be a traditional yachtsman. It will be a tech titan. A true believer. Someone who wants to prove it can be done, and who has the political clout to push through the regulations. And that, my friends, is what at Explore Billionaire's Toys is all about. We don't just showcase luxury. We live the billionaire's dream. We explore the why behind the what. We look at these incredible machines not just as things, but as stories. Stories of power, precision, and the passionate, obsessive, slightly mad pursuit of a life less ordinary. So, what do you think? Is the nuclear superyacht the absolute pinnacle of human ingenuity and the future of sustainable luxury? Or is it the most expensive, most complicated, and most absurdly dangerous toy ever conceived? And here's the big question. Would you board a nuclear yacht? Let me know with a yes or no in the comments. Thank you for indulging with us today. And as we always say, don't just watch, indulge in the billionaire's obsession. At Explore Billionaire's Toys. At Explore Billionaire's Toys, we don't just showcase luxury, we live the billionaire's dream. Whether it's hypercars, private jets, mega yachts, or rare collectibles, we explore the world's most extravagant toys with storytelling that inspires you to walk like a billionaire and dream even bigger. Our motto? Don't just watch, indulge in the billionaire's obsession. Because every toy tells a story of power, precision, passion, and the pursuit of a life less ordinary. Disclaimer: all content on this channel is created by humans, with heart, hustle, and high standards. Every voiceover, script, and insight is the result of original research, writing, and editing by our team. Select visuals may be sourced from publicly available materials and are used under fair use guidelines to support commentary and analysis. We do not claim ownership or affiliation with any third-party brands, properties, or entities featured. This channel is intended for entertainment, educational, and aspirational purposes only. No infringement is intended.
you.